tells you is you got asthma, you ain't supposed to smoke weed. And then it gives you that little plastic thing. And if you put some tinfoil on that, that's the coolest motherfucking pipe I've ever owned in my life. The other kind of doctor costs $35. And he's like a smog check, right? If you don't pass, you don't pay. That's how I like my doctor. I like to walk into that motherfucker and that guy goes, "You look sick." I'm like, damn, this guy wants to get his money. You go in and this doctor don't give a fuck enough to even show up to the appointment. You gotta do your weed appointment on a Skype screen. So I got my weed card. Y'all been in the dispensaries? I know they keep opening and closing and opening and closing. All the dispensaries now belong to the money people. If you go there, the doors are now like solid gold. It's got little weed angels floating all over that motherfucker, just throwing buds around and shit. You ever tried to light one of these motherfuckers? I tell you, I hit that shit. There was snot coming out of my face. My eyes were melting off. I do for real. I go blind every time I hit. I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but if you hit weed and you just all of a sudden you're blind. But you don't fucking tell anybody because you don't want to fuck up medical marijuana, right? You don't be the only one to be like, I almost just really died from this shit. Yeah. Anybody got kids in here? Yeah. You brought yours with you? Yeah. That's the parents right there. I'm saying, they're like pussies. Like when we grew up, our parents whooped our asses, right? Whooped the shit out. My grandmother would set us up in size order, right? And she would say, "Who did it?" And I would step forward and say, "Philip did it." And she would fuck Philip up. And then she would fuck me up because she taught you don't rat on your family, right? I don't get that shit no more. My kid goes to school. He got an app. If I even push my kid too hard and he shoots 1 foot over to the left, CPS is notified immediately. Just bounce across the playground. Remember when we were kids? They just dropped a pile of bars and sand off and said, "Build something with this." Right? It was like 150 degrees. You had to be like an Olympic athlete and put the sand in your hands and rub that shit to do cherry bombs. Grew up in a trailer park. Y'all got trailer parks here in California? Real trailer, like mobile home communities. See, y'all got orange trees and shit growing. Like ain't nobody going hungry in the trailer park in California when there's oranges and apples and shit growing outside. Our trailer park, we had a petting zoo. Wasn't no animals there. It was just an old dude that'll watch all your kids for free. Lots of petting up there. We had the chrome windows. We called them chrome. It was tinfoil on the windows and shit. Keep the heat out. Pimping back then. My dad growing up, he used to hate that I smoked weed. I would come home in the trailer. My dad liked to stay up. Like he was fat, 400 pounds plus. But he would just wear his underwear so you couldn't tell if he was actually wearing clothes or not because his belly would touch his knees. And I would come home, and he would turn on all the lights, and he would say, right there in the middle of the trailer, big as fuck, and he would say, "You look high," right? And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm high," right? And he'd say, "No, you look like you smoked 2.7 grams of weed." And I'm like, "That's exactly what I fucking smoked." How you know that? And he would hold up his bag and go, "Because I'm short 2.7 grams of weed."